Alright, I'm not filming an intro. I wasn't originally going to buy these, but then I saw the 2-pack was coming out, so I thought, yeah, I'm going to buy them. A lot of dust on these boxes. It's embarrassing. These boxes have an added sticker with a little picture of the figure and it just says "Try Me" in a couple different languages. Sonic and Shadow shown as Wave 2, got some writing on the back. Also came with these instructions showing you how to change the batteries if you need to. It's just folded in at the bottom of the box if you want to know where it is. Despite showing off the box for Sonic, I'm going to look at Shadow first because he's just infinitely cooler. Face expression I think is the same, however they did fix the eyes on this one so there's not a weird gap. If you turn the figure around and look at the back, you'll see a little screw. That is where you change the batteries, in case you didn't look at the piece of paper. I also just realised that the wrist on the hand on his left arm, the little cuff isn't on properly. The red isn't in the right place. I don't know why. You can't turn it either. You can only turn the hand itself, not the actual little black and red cuff thing. You can't look up and down anymore. You can only look left and right because of the light and the wire going through his head. His arm can move all the way up. He has a bicep swivel, an elbow joint, and an elbow swivel and hinge. However, he doesn't have any butterfly joints. Oh, he also has a finger hinge as well. And he's missing a diaphragm joint. His legs can kick that far up. He has a thigh swivel. His legs can kick that far back. And... no, I said this wrong. He also has a joint at the knee. He has a hinge at the foot. And he has a very, very good range of pivot at the foot. Or at the ankle. Here's the normal Shadow, but I put him on the bike. And I don't want to take him off the bike. So then I'm going to have to put him back on. It's just going to be a pain. I don't want to do it. This is how far his head could look up and down before. It's a really impressive amount, so it does kind of suck that I had to take that away for this figure, but otherwise the figure couldn't light up, which is the selling point of it, and why it's more expensive. Here is Sonic, and I got a lot to say about him. He has a lot of quills on this figure, a lot more than the other one, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's basically the same as the other figure. The paint looks alright, except from the shoe there, if you see. It does look a little bit sloppy. Probably could have been painted a bit better. Now, this Sonic figure also has the same translucent spikes, but it doesn't have as much. As you can see, they are a different shape altogether. They're not just left over from this figure. It's a completely different head, and a completely different mould, and a completely different face. It's not like the back where the mold... the back of the head where there's the moulded line, and that's why the translucent quills are there. They're a different size and a different shape. It's like they went out of their way to put them there for no reason. It probably cost more as well. It's stupid. And he has this little hole here for some reason. Now, just like Shadow, he can't look up and down, but he can look left and right, basically all the way. Well, not all the way, because his quills are still going down. No butterfly joints, and no diaphragm joint as well. The loss of the head isn't too big on this one because you couldn't really look up and down with his head. Ball joint, I think it is that much anyway. Also, I want to point out they didn't put the translucent quills on the normal Shadow, which I'm glad because I think they look weird, you know? Why did they put it on the Sonic? So yeah, again, his head can move left and right. His arm can move all the way out. It is a bit stiff though, so I'd heat it up if it is. He has a bicep swivel, joint at the elbow. Don't know why I'm showing that off. He has a wrist swivel and a wrist hinge, which is a bit loose, and he also has a finger hinge. His legs can kick out that far, and they can kick back that far. He again has a thigh swivel, a joint at the knee, and a hinge at the badly painted foot, which is also a bit loose on that side, and the ankle pivot isn't as impressive on this figure. Now, again, the main selling point is the light-up feature, which you can't really see in the light here. And here's what it looks like in the dark. As you can see, it's very impressive, and it does last for quite a long amount of time as well. They also painted over the quills, so it's not really obvious that he has them, unlike Sonic when they're just transparent. And he has all the quills on the back as well, which just looks incredible, if I'm being real. Now, the light up feature for Sonic is a bit different because his head is a bit more hollow and see-through, so the blue light just shines up everything around him, whereas Shadow just shines up the figure, if that makes sense. They both have the same light pattern and last for the same amount of time. I'm just going to show them next to each other. Let's see how long I think it lasts for about 10 seconds. which isn't that bad. I did hear that they run out fast, but I've had them for a while. I haven't used them that much, but they haven't run out for me, so as long as you don't use it every second, I think you'll be okay. I don't mind the loss of articulation, you're not losing that much. Remember when everyone was fine with this figure because he had an elbow joint, and he was like the best Sonic figure for its time, and Jakks Pacific didn't use all this updated articulation? But, you know, it is pretty funny to see everyone switched up immediately, calling the old game figures outdated. And I know I just called them old, because they are a bit old. But they're not that outdated, just because they don't have butterfly joints and thigh swivels. I've basically reviewed all the figures now, except for these two, because I don't want another Tails with the Chow head, unless they release the Knuckles and Sonic. I know they're making a little 2-inch Sonic. And I also don't feel like having two Shadows, just because one looks angry. And yeah, I already own basically all of the characters. And yeah, I almost didn't buy these ones. I'm definitely not buying the other ones. I think the new 2-pack looks really cool. And is fairly priced. Should be able to get it in May. It's already been out in the US for a couple of months now. So I don't know why it's not out in the UK yet. Especially when the new Knuckles got leaked and it said that was coming out in March. So what the hell? So yeah, here's the new Knuckles. Smiths took down the thing to like, so you can look at him or see where he's in stock. They just took him down his website, but I did manage to find these pictures from other YouTubers who took screenshots. So yeah, the Flames of Disasters look cool. I really hope they're not removable, because then it kind of makes the first one worthless. Here you have the new Sonic with the Master Emerald. Well, it's not really the new Sonic, it's the Wave 3 Sonic. It's the one I've already reviewed with the Master Emerald from 2 years ago. It does fit in better with these new figures since they're bigger and it was a bit oversized. And yeah. They usually make 2 new characters each wave, not including Wave 1. They're following a pattern and they re-release 2 other characters or they give them a new head. With Sonic, they just full on re-released him with an accessory that came out 2 years ago, so I'm not going to get him. I might get Knuckles because I like the Flames of Disaster. And of course the guy on Reddit did leak the rest of the figures because he had the box and he found it in stores and he took a picture and put it on Reddit, so you know, he didn't really leak it. It was just, I don't know, right place, right time. Gerald looks cool. Super Shadow, I really hope they're not going to nerf him. I just have this feeling they're going to do something and take away the other stuff that the light up ones don't have. But I hope they don't just repaint the light up one. I don't know why I feel like they're going to do that. They're not going to, but I really hope they don't. It will be the ultimate Super Shadow figure. So yeah, if you can look up as butterfly joints and diaphragm joint, I would pay more than £15 for him. Before Smiths took Knuckles down, they must have put him up by mistake or something, I don't know. It did say March, so I don't know. I don't think it's going to come out in March, because they haven't even hit the US yet. But you know, we'll see. And that's about it, so thanks for watching.